Hello and welcome back to Drive Driver Driven. Been a while, hasn't it? Things have kind of gone sideways, and a whole lot of nothing all happened at once. Let me take you for a quick tour, and then we'll talk about kind of the state of the two projects now. So as you can see, the garage layout has changed a little bit. What I had to do was I had to fish the Ultima out because I needed to get to the welder, and I repositioned the Zero while I was at it, and now I can more easily get to both projects. Still have kind of this mess of burnt Blunicorn bits that I need to go through, but that's going to be going soon. And as you can see, the engine is back out of the Zero, and that's because this weekend I'm hoping to get underneath and weld up the chassis where we cut the tube out, if you can see way back down in there. As for kind of the state of the garage, well, I'm sure all of you know by now what's going on, the global pandemic, etc. And weirdly, it affected one car and did not affect the other. The Ultima parts, I placed an order for those replacement parts, I think back in August of last year, August of 2019. And it took a long time for those parts to actually get into production, and come, I want to say December and January, we started seeing hints of the doors and the nose and the rest of the parts kind of finally being produced. And now those parts are on a boat and they're inbound way sooner than I anticipated. I was expecting those parts to come like September or October of this year, and I was planning on a winter rebuild, and instead it looks like they're going to be here probably around the 1st of June. So I've been kind of under the gun to now move up the Ultima rebuild, so I'm glad that's happening sooner, but it also means that I need to get the Zero done and out of the garage to make room. That also means that money that I had sort of set aside for the Zero for different things is now going to be gobbled up by the Ultima now to speed up the rebuild process. So I've already reached out to Fuel Safe for some new fuel cells, to Texas Speed. They'll be hearing from me shortly to work out a new engine build, and I got to find some wiring because I plan on upgrading that, and I'll talk more about that later when I do an updated Blunicorn video. As for the Zero, well, that was actually slowed down by the pandemic. The factory over in England had to cut back their production. I wouldn't say it's stalled out, but it is certainly slowed. And so the one thing that I needed most, which is an exhaust manifold, I've been waiting on for a very long time. And then likewise the weather kit, which is like a canvas top and etc. doors, that also has been kind of waylaid and hasn't been produced yet. Hello, Kumo. Can I help you? Can I help you with something? Hi. Do you want to say hi to everyone? Yes. Okay. Kumo is helping like usual. So, yeah, the Zero has basically been at a standstill. The one thing that I really wanted to get done was the exhaust, and it just didn't pan out because I had the wrong header. I can't show you now, but there was two transmission and engine options for the Zero, and one of those transmissions put the engine at 0 degrees, like straight up and down, and the other option, which is what I went for, was out of an NC Miata, which cants the engine over at 10 degrees. And it turns out that the header I had was for a straight up and down application and not for a 10-degree application. So no matter how much I tried, I just couldn't get it to fit. I couldn't get it to work right. And every workaround that I was trying, I was just getting frustrated, and I didn't want to make things worse. So I just called it quits. What that means is that the engine's kind of stuck for the moment, and I don't want to begin the rebuild if I can't help it. But I might just go ahead and do the rebuild, get the head redone, get the engine done back up, and then complete the other things on the car, like wiring and the brake system and the rest of the interior. I can take you around. The nose is just on temporarily. It's loose. Last things that we did were like the radiator and the oil cooler. The pedal setup hasn't changed any. On the interior, this is the Miata. It's an I think this is an NA Miata stock, which I actually like using because it'll put most of the controls here on the stocks, and it won't be buttons on the dash. And I kind of like how that simplifies everything. The seat and runner is in, but this isn't permanent because the handle for the runner down here is sticking out too far. We got the right brakes now, so we have the right disc, we have the right caliper. We still need to get pads, and I need to sort the e-brake cable out a little bit better because I think that will interfere with the wheels. And then, of course, we got the windshield mount, and the windshield will be coming soon. I have it, but I actually have to drill these holes out of the windshield frame itself, and that's kind of a two-man job, so I need an extra pair of hands. And that's pretty much it. The Zero's been kind of hurry up and wait, and the Ultima's been hurry up. On the Ultima side of things, if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen the body because I couldn't wait to post it. It won't be the same color as it was before. It's a little bit of a darker, richer blue. And it's a new color called Pacific Blue that I worked with the factory to create. And it's a little bit lighter than the blue they had typically. I wanted to get a lighter color like I had before, something that really pops in the California sun. And I think this will. It just won't be as bright as it was previously. A couple other updates for the Ultima is there's going to be some changes for the AC system. And instead of going for this burnt and toasted compressor, I think I'm going to replace it with an electric compressor that a friend pointed out and put it somewhere up here in the side pod, which will significantly shorten the run for AC. So the compressor will be here, the receiver dryer, the evaporator, and then the condenser up front. Everything will be pretty much tied up into the front of the car. It'll also help bring, however little, some of that weight forward, which is really needed. Wiring. Instead of using the factory wiring, I'm going to be updating to a Motec PDM30, which that'll be kind of a long process, but I really think that's the way to go. I did test the AIM dash. It seems like it's working, but I wasn't able to test any of the inputs for obvious reasons. All of the wiring and everything for that just got kind of toasted. And I still have to replace a handful of sensors that got burnt in the rear of the car. So like the rear tire temp sensors, links and extensions and CAN hubs and sensor hubs all got burnt up in the fire. So all that stuff needs to be replaced. So there's a big order for coming for AIM parts. Other than that, there's actually not a whole lot of upgrades coming. I have been toying with the thought of upgrading to an electric power assist steering, and I may actually do that update. I need to test fit a few parts, and again, I was hoping to have the Zero done before that, because this area will need to be cut up a little bit. Let's get this out of the way. So this brace and pretty much down here will be replaced with our power steering assist unit, which will sit up above these bars, or above these bars as much as I can. I'll probably remove this steering sensor, because I don't know if anyone else has problems with these string types, but I ended up replacing it twice, and they just keep breaking, and I don't know why that is. Otherwise, yeah, I'm really eager to get started on the Ultima again. It's going to be more of an involved process this time around, because unlike last time, I had the factory do a pre-fit where they fit the fiberglass body onto my chassis. So when I got it, all the door gaps were perfect, the shut lines were perfect. Yeah, you know, it was a great fit. So when I took it apart, put it back together, everything just worked. This time I have to do that process, and the factory's given me really good instructions. However, it's not simple, and it is kind of methodic work. So we'll get through it. It's just going to take a little longer. There's also some RS upgrades. I've mentioned before that the car is being upgraded to RS spec. So that's a new front splitter, new rear spoiler, new body work, new side skirts, new front canards or dive planes, whatever you want to call them. It's got the fender vents front and rear, just a lot of aero upgrades that the car really needs, and more so on the front. It's just readily apparent that the car needed more front grip at the track. So I can't wait to get those upgrades in, and I can't wait to show you guys. I think, though, that's going to be it for today. Not much of a car update, but an update nonetheless, and one that was long overdue. I hope all of you are staying safe out there. We're in week 8 of quarantine now. Today is the 25th, to put a timestamp on this video. 25th of April in 2020. And it is week 8 quarantine for us. We've all kind of just settled in now. And I really want this thing to be over. I don't know about you guys, but another month, maybe month and a half, 2 months, I think, before things even start getting back to normal. But we'll get through it. And I can't wait to have another track day. I can't wait to get out and drive some more. I can't wait out to go and see some friends, and see you guys at Cars and Coffee events again when those are allowed to happen. So take it easy, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you guys next time.